Good morning. Okay, so another chilly morning. It's warming up quick though, which is awesome. Started out in the 30s. We are now at 54 and it's only been like an hour, which is great because I'm working on plumbing. The water lines in my mother's yard burst because it's getting prepped for a concrete pad that's going to be under a carport. They're going to be installing a carport at some point. I'm imagining in the next month here, but it needs a concrete pad. The guys, for whatever reason, she said, okay, you can park there, don't park over here. Well, they parked over here. And shortly thereafter, her yard had a spring. It wasn't supposed to have a spring. I mean, the way the water was that pressure is amazing. The way the water was flowing up, it looked like a spring. I was like, holy cow, this is bad. She called me. I happened to be at home. I think I was like having one of those days where I could just kind of show up whenever. It was sort of a loose schedule, which was great. So I was cleaning up after the puppy. You know, puppy's awesome. And she calls and says, hey, where's the shut off for the water? And you could hear that panic in her voice. And I said, the shut off for the house? And I told her where it was. And she said, it didn't shut off. And I'm like, that's the only shut off to the house. I don't know. And anyway. So I knew of another shut off, but that was also to the house. There's lines all over her yard, just like my yard. My yard has hose bibs everywhere, just random places. I keep finding them. I mean, I'm on 10 acres. So to keep finding things in my yard isn't the biggest surprise, but it's just like, why is there a hose bib behind the shed? Like, there's nothing else back here. It's like right next to the property line. Anyway. So we ended up shutting off the power to the well. I went and I got the parts. I came back, fixed it. Then I went back to where the other shutoff was, dug for a while, found a second shutoff, which I guess was going to the lines in the yard because I shut that one off. I turned the other one back on, let the air bubbles out of the lines in the house. Well, the other one I kept off. The one to the yard I kept off for 24 hours. I used Christie's, but I still was like, when you're doing a patch with two lines, that first connection, you've got it really strong. But then that second one, you kind of have to like bring the two. Anyway, I wanted to make sure that it had as much time to set, just because you kind of have to disturb the first one to link the second one. I wanted to give it as much time as possible. It takes 24 hours to cure. It's set much faster than that, but still, I wanted to give it to 24 hours if I could. So, I do remember when before we actually killed the power to the well to shut it off, the water was shut off to the house, so we shouldn't have been getting any backflow. Yet there's still, like, even after, oh no, we killed power to the well, and we're still getting water, like a lot of water. And it's like, okay, where is this backflow coming from? Because my mom is suggesting it was from the house. That's right. And I got that all confused. And I'm like thinking, no, the house is shut off. There can't be water coming from the house. Like, that's just so. But to appease her, I went and I shut off the other ball valve under her house. And I asked her when I was driving to Home Depot, I said, should I just get new ball valves? But this is before I knew about the one to the yard. I'm like, should I get a shut off for your yard? Might as well install it while, I'm out there messing with this and we've got the water off anyway. So do the fix. I find the other ball valve. 24 hours goes by. I turn the water back on. I happen to be over there working on another project anyway. And I hear, okay, so I turn on the water and I immediately hear the water, and I hear bubbles going through the line, and I'm thinking, where's that water going? Like, I know it's trying to fill up the pipe, but how? Because it was all off. Like, usually you turn it on and nothing really happens till you turn on some sort of something. A hose bib, a faucet, whatever. You turn on something and then the movement. Then the air bubbles can come out. So I hear that all go rushing through. And I think, okay. And I'm kind of like, meanwhile, like over those couple of days, I'm sort of like mapping out in my head, all right, so we know there's that line there. We know there's that line there. We know there's that line there. We know there's sprinkler heads here. We know there's a shut off for the sprinkler heads over there, and it is off. It has always been off since she moved in. It's like, basically I'm calling the county trying to find out, is there some sort of paper where I can see where all these lines are? Where are they going? Where's the best place to put a shut off for this thing? So the 24 hours goes by, I turn the water back on. Her oldest daughter mentions to her later that night that there's a lot of water in the front yard. Now, this break happened in the backyard. She's got a 6-acre piece of property. Maybe over 6 acres. There's a lot of water in the front yard. She doesn't say anything to me about it till the next morning. The next morning, she went out to her driveway and was standing in water. Lots of water. She calls me and says, I don't know what happened, but my entire driveway is flooded. And I'm thinking, how the hell did that happen? And I'm thinking, so there's another line going under the driveway, because there is a hose bib on the other side of the driveway. And I'm thinking, okay, crap. But we've had shipping containers brought over that driveway. However, this year we have had a number of freezes. I mean, hard freeze, like 10 hours of 20-degree weather. I don't remember this since the 80s. Anyway, today my job is to dig out the 1 1/4 ball valve, cut that out, replace that. Another 3/4 inch ball valve, cut that out, replace that. A second 3/4, dude, the light is green. Okay. A second 3/4 inch ball valve because, well, the handles have snapped off, so that's usually a sign that it needs to be replaced. If a plastic ball valve starts breaking, you replace it. Like, duh. So I'm gonna be spending my day digging to replace plumbing. But when I replace the section, oh my god, it blew the side of the pipe right off. Like, I reached down into the hole in the ground and you can feel the pipe, and then all of a sudden you feel where the break is, and there's a chunk the size of a nickel, maybe a little bit bigger, missing. It just blew that side right off. And I'm looking at it thinking, like, once I dug it out, I'm looking at it thinking, okay, it's right next to the wheelchair ramp. I'm like, they were probably digging here to put a post for the wheelchair ramp. Tap that with the shovel so it had a weak point. It wasn't leaking yet. Maybe they thought there was no water in it. And then this situation put so much air in the lines because, let's remember, the water only went to the backyard. We were under the impression that the front yard was off because it was all irrigation. No hose bibs. Zero. Goose egg. None. So I can't bleed the system out there anyway. When I turn the water back on, it essentially air tested those lines, which you don't pressure test the lines with air. They're not made for that. You are specifically not supposed to do that. It went. So I do remember the well humming, like it wasn't shutting off at a certain point while I was over there working. And I was wondering why, but there were so many people in the house by then that it was like, it's very possible somebody's taking a shower and they're doing laundry and dishes and everything else. Like, very possible. So yesterday after we walked around, and anyway, I know I'm rambling. I probably am going to cut out a lot of that. But suffice to say, I will be spending my day, which is probably going to be a beautiful day. The forecast is great. I'm stoked. I was a little nervous when I saw it was in the 30s this morning. I was like, no, I don't want to work with water when it's cold. So, you know, being a crybaby. Oh my God. Like, basically, I'm going to replace these 1, 2, 3 ball valves and repair that pipe. Put in a hose bib there because she's got a garden. She's got 3 gardens right there, and she's dragging the hose from the other part of the yard. Why not just put a hose bib there? If I'm repairing the pipe, so I bought a T, I bought a threaded slip joint, and I am going to put a hose bib because why the hell not? Anyway, that's going to be my day. Maybe I'll film some of it. I'll probably forget. Oh God, work takes so much longer when you film it. Like, to all the people that film their work, like really, like from different angles, film their work and very like detail. Oh, kudos to you guys, because I've tried. I have tried. Oh wait, I'm just realizing I probably left some tools and equipment at that guy's house. Oh, sad. Anyway, whatever. Oh, so what do y'all think about going more blonde? I haven't yet. I want to, is what I'm saying. I mean, like right now the light is really good, so you can see a little bit of highlights. And the way I have my hair parted, this is how I woke up, so that's what I got. But if it's parted here, it's like darker, you see? It's not blondie. I like the blondiness, and I need my hair to go back to where it was when I woke up because it's gonna be uncomfortable. Anyway,